All right. Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to be going over what Manifest Destiny is, the Louisiana Purchase, what to do with your assignments posted on Schoology today. So we are on a new unit, Manifest Destiny. We're going to go ahead and define manifest and destiny together and put those definitions together to create a definition for the phrase manifest destiny. So manifest means clear or obvious. Destiny means fate or meant to be. So if we put those two definitions together, it was a clear or obvious fate. It was obviously meant to be. And what they're meaning, what was meant to be was the United States was meant to expand westward or get bigger. Okay, so manifest destiny, it was clear, obvious that the United States was going to be expanding. Okay, so we're going to kind of be answering this question throughout this week and next week as we look at manifest destiny and each of the events that make up manifest destiny. We're going to be deciding whether or not it was a good thing or a bad thing. Historically, teachers have kind of focused on how it's a good thing, but we're going to go ahead and look at different groups and how they might have been negatively impacted by manifest destiny. And then we're going to take all that information to decide if it was overall a good thing or overall a bad thing. All right, so here's kind of two pictures that we looked at, either a bad thing or a good thing. All right, and because we're starting a new unit, we're just going to go ahead and look at what the United States looked like during this time, the early 1800s. So we have a picture right over here showing women in dresses, okay, kind of smaller, old-fashioned houses, right? Really big families, everyone kind of works together, a lot of farmers at the time. And there are some cities that are getting a little bit bigger. People are still getting around by horses and wagons and stuff like that. All right, and the United States itself actually looked different. Okay, so the states that were officially part of the United States were only these red ones over here. That's what the United States looked like at the time, just these red states. All this other stuff, they were either not officially states yet or owned by different countries. So this green area was owned by France. This pink area, including Florida over here, was owned by Spain. So both of those countries were in Europe. All right, and the first event we're going to look at for Manifest Destiny was the Louisiana Purchase. Here's kind of what happened with that. We had Napoleon Bonaparte. He wanted to take over the world, but he needed some money. He wanted to take over the world for France. So he started looking around for things to sell, and he was like, oh, hey, we have a bunch of land that we don't use in the United States. We should go ahead and sell that so the French has more money to take over the world. All right, so Napoleon Bonaparte goes to President Jefferson at the time, and he says, hey, I have a good deal for you. I'll sell you all this land for really, really cheap because I need the money. Thomas Jefferson was like, whoa, that is a good deal. I better accept this deal before he offers it to somebody else. He looks at the Constitution and he says, am I allowed to do this as the president to buy this land? He says, well, the Constitution doesn't specifically say I can't, so I'm going to buy it. Then he goes ahead and he hires two explorers named Lewis and Clark to go through that new land and see what's there. But most of the work was done by Sacagawea, and it was done with a baby on her back, a brand new born baby. So kudos to Sacagawea. All right, what you guys are going to be doing is looking for positive and negative impacts of the Louisiana Purchase. There is a group of documents posted on Schoology called Lewis and Clark Primary Sources. When you click on it and open it up, it should look something like this. There are two short texts and two pictures. You're going to go ahead and look through those documents looking for positive and or negative effects of the Louisiana Purchase. There's little hints for each one. So if you're having trouble, look at these little hints. There's at least one positive and one negative impact in this first one. There's at least two negative impacts for the second one. There will be at least one positive impact in the first or in the third one, and at least one positive impact in the last one. If you find more than like one positive impact, that's fine. That doesn't mean you're incorrect. It just means you should find at least one positive impact. All right, and then once you've gone through and you've identified those positive impacts, maybe write them down on a sheet of scratch paper, you're going to go ahead and just take a moment to decide whether or not you think manifest destiny was a positive or negative thing. We'll kind of do this each and every day in this unit because we are going to use these little note cards or Google Forms in this case to help us with a writing assignment at the end of the unit. Okay, so using what you learned today, you're going to decide whether you think manifest destiny was a positive thing or a negative thing. There's no right or wrong answer. It is totally a level 3 question. And you're going to tell me why you believe this. So, like, I believe it was a positive thing because it expanded U.S. territory. Or I believe it was a negative thing because it could make our government weaker. Whatever you want to use from what you learned today. And then you're going to give an example. So, for example, in the Louisiana Purchase, we added over 800,000 square miles of land to the United States. For example, in the Louisiana Purchase, Alexander Hamilton expressed concerns about having a weaker government. Okay? So, at the top, deciding whether it's positive or negative, and you're just going to quickly state why you think it was a positive or negative thing, and then use an example from either the primary sources that you read or the information in the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, good luck.